and we're back at the home base. I've been back for about 5 days. It's taken me about 2-3 days to get my body clock back to normal. I don't want to be back. Yeah, on the plane when we were coming back, the pilot was like, the weather in London is 1 degree, and everybody was like, oh my God. And then a guy just shouted, can you turn the plane around, please? So yeah, I had to come back. I have a few things that I needed to do work-wise as well, and some exciting projects, one of them being the break the mold stuff. So the headbands are actually almost done, and then we've got the hoodies that are coming out as well. So I've got a few, I've got the black and this color and another color as well. I'll try and see if I can put screenshots of what they're gonna look like. So I'm pretty excited about that because a lot of you have been asking, and honestly, I didn't think that I was making these for myself, so just to wear them. I didn't think that people would actually want to wear them. So I did a launch last year, like beginning of last year, just a small drop. Did quite well, and I thought that was it, that no one would really be interested in buying more of them, if that makes sense. So for me, break the mold, there's a message behind it. It's not just a fashion statement. It's break the mold means, for me, trying something different, trying something new. It doesn't even have to be about training. It just be about life in general, you know, taking a chance on anything and not being closed-minded. And that was the main point of me, you know, starting the whole break the mold thing. So yeah, I'm excited for that one. Hopefully it'll be done before summer. So today's video, what I'm gonna do is show you a typical full body mobility that I do. So normally spend about 30 to 40 minutes on this. On Fridays, I do active recovery and mobility. I'm not doing the active recovery, so I'm just gonna do the mobility today. So I'm gonna run through every single exercise that I'm doing today. I do quite a lot of mobility, 30 to 40 minutes once a week, and then I do about 10 minutes of mobility every day. So this one is spending good quality time on every single body part. So yeah, I'm gonna run through that with you all, and hopefully you find some of these useful. I do a lot of them on Instagram, but I thought it'd be great to just do all of it once in a video, so you can pick and choose whichever you can use. So I'm gonna be filming it on this setup here. So hopefully the video turns out great, because with mobility, I don't need to move around much. So yeah, that's pretty much the idea for today's video. I was gonna actually talk to you guys about the CrossFit Open and how it went, and obviously how it went for me, which wasn't very well, but I'll do that in another video. I'm gonna sit down and really talk about it. So if you did finish, congratulations, well done. I don't care if you scaled it. If you did it RS, well done. If you did it scaled, well done. Doesn't matter, you finished, I didn't. And I'll let you know my thoughts on how I feel. Because I was a bit disappointed, but you know, certain things I couldn't do. It was out of my control, but yeah. I know what you're all thinking when you see this. You think I've absolutely lost my mind, but there is a reason for this movement. So if you're familiar with the Cossack squats, this is pretty much a Cossack squat. It's just a slightly more advanced version. Now, please be very careful, as this movement requires a lot of core stability and strength. This is an advanced movement, so if you can't perform the basic Cossack squat comfortably, which you can see here, then work on the basics first before you progress onto this movement. The idea behind this is to create instability, which forces you to really focus on core control and helps improve my hip mobility. So now we're on to hip cars. Now this is a great hip mobility exercise you can perform pre-workout. It's great for really opening up the hips. Make sure you do not rush this movement. First, you want to create tension throughout your body.
Now what that means is you take a deep breath in and fully brace your core. Make sure you use your hips during the lift off and throughout the entire movement. Try as much as possible to keep your upper body movement to a minimum, as in stay centered. Avoid twisting either left to right when moving your leg, whichever leg you're moving. This is one of those that looks easy, but it's actually really tough. I'm using a 30-inch box, however you can start with a lower box and progress onto a higher box. If you struggle with the movement and you need something to help with stability, you can use a PVC pipe. It does make this slightly easier, however it allows you to focus more on the movement without worrying about keeping your balance. If you don't have a box, you can still perform this exercise. Pay careful attention to the video and my movement, and do not rush this, especially when performing mobility. Slow it down and keep control throughout. Next we have pistols. On the box, this is a great movement to help improve pistol squats. Helps with core strength and ankle mobility, and also great for improving glute strength and activation. I try and go as low as possible. Keeping my arms out in front helps as a counterbalance and stops me caving in or dipping my chest down at the bottom of the movement. This is a great hip mobility exercise. Pay attention to the video carefully to get this right. So once you cross your leg over, hold onto your ankles to keep your legs stable. Lie on your side, make sure you create tension, and then lift your outstretched leg up as high as you possibly can and hold for 5 to 10 seconds. Then what you want to do is slowly bring your legs back down. Trust me, this one really sucks. You will feel it after a few reps. If you do get cramps afterwards, that's normal, as it's happened to me the first time I've performed this. I use this next exercise to help improve my ankle mobility. Or if you have tight ankles when you squat or perform ollie lifts, then doing these two exercises pre-workout really helps. The first exercise is simple. You want to draw a circle with your ankles, clockwise and anti-clockwise. Second exercise, using a resistance band, you want to plantar flex your feet against the band for a few seconds and then dorsiflex away from the band. So when you plantar flex, it creates tension and helps strengthen your ankles. Onto shoulder cars. Now this exercise, in my opinion, should be done daily for healthy, strong shoulders. Helps reduce tightness as well in your shoulders. I'm using a tennis ball to create extra tension throughout the movement. Make sure you take a deep breath in, keep your core tight, squeeze your glutes, and drive your feet down to the floor. Keep your arms straight at all times, and all this you do before you lift off the ground. So again, bracing. Watch carefully the motions of my hands throughout this movement. I'm using tennis balls and a yoga block. However, this movement can be performed without these. Investing in these items would be worth it and easily found on Amazon, and they are not very expensive. Now, the scapular push-ups is a great shoulder mobility and strengthening exercise. Again, create tension throughout the body and then dip or shrug your chest down towards the floor whilst keeping your arms as straight as possible. And then shrug back as far up as you can and repeat this. I like to do this both on my hands and in a plank position, as you can see in the video. This is another drill you can perform pre-workout if doing any heavy overhead pressing. This is one stretch I cannot recommend enough. If you struggle or want to improve overhead lifts, front rack positioning and Olympic lifts, this is absolutely great as it opens up your lats and shoulders, and it's a great stretch especially for your lower back. Usually when we struggle with things like front squats and overhead press, it's due to very tight lats, and holding this stretch for at least 2 minutes if you can makes a huge difference. I did these every single day and it really helped me. This exercise looks strange, but it's great for thoracic spine mobilization, especially it helps with if you have a bad back or if you have lower back pains as well. I like to create tension first using the ball, then crunching down slightly, and then perform a nice slow clockwise motion, and then after a few reps, anti-clockwise motion. Again, this is one that you do not want to rush, so take your time. This next exercise is very advanced, so please only try this if you have very good mobility and wrist strength. Make sure you're thoroughly warm before you perform this movement. So maybe do your other movements first and then attempt this. This is a great back, shoulder and wrist stretch. I still struggle with this, as being over 100 kilos in this position is not easy. However, try and hold it as long as you possibly can, and for me that's about 10 seconds. Last but not least, we have the banded dead bugs, an awesome lower back and core exercise that I would recommend adding pre-workout, especially with heavy compound movements. Pulling the band out, as you can see in the video, creates tension in your core and helps with activating your core properly. And it's great especially before a session, or you can do this on your mobility session as well.
And that's it. That's all my mobility that I'm doing for this session. There is so many more options that I could do, but what I do is I try and mix them up and change them up every time. That way it doesn't get boring. So this routine I've done took me about 50 minutes, but that's because I'm having to film, and unlike the Canon, the Sony, I can't see what I'm filming. So it's a lot of stop, start. So if I was to do this properly, it will take me about 30 minutes. So I would come in and treat this like a session, but this is a recovery day, or even on a rest day, I will do something like this. So you can even do this on your rest day. So some of this is slightly more advanced than I've put on my post before. So if you want a simple beginner mobility, I'll put the link, or I'll put the, I don't know what it's called, on the video, so you can click on that. These moves are slightly harder and some of them a bit more technical, but if you do a lot of Olympic lifting, a lot of heavy lifting in general, these are awesome. So hopefully you can pick a few things from this video and add into your mobility. Try and make sure, especially, I don't know if you saw the stretch for your lats and overhead. That stretch I recommend everyone do daily, because if you struggle with overhead pressing or overhead squats, that stretch, that hold is probably one of the best things you can do because it really opens up your lats. So pick a few movements from this and implement that into your mobility sessions. You can do them daily, or you can have a day where you just do mobs. So yeah, hopefully you enjoy the video and leave a thumbs up. That will be awesome because it really helps me know what you guys like and it helps my channel. And thank you all so much that already do that. I appreciate it. Any comments, any feedback, any questions, leave a comment below. I'll be happy to answer them. Hope you enjoy the video. Have an awesome week. Peace out.